Let's meet the players. In seat number 9 from Dallas, Texas, Robert Williamson III. In seat number 8, Chad Brown from Los Angeles, California. In seat number 7, Terry Myers from Yuma, Arizona. In seat number 6, Bruce Parker. The Texas Dolly Doyle Brunson from Las Vegas is in seat number 5. Also from Las Vegas, Robert Bright is in seat number 4. In seat number 3 from Ranchos Palos Verdes, California, Barry Greenstein. In seat number 2 from Las Vegas, Gabriel Thaler. And in seat number 1 from Addison, Texas, Stuart Hosen. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Cash Poker. My name is Brian Malika. I will be your host.
Who's that?
Blinds are set at 75, 150 with a $25 ante. And unlike in tournament poker, the blinds and antes will remain the same throughout the entire match.
Cool.
Bob announces a call with a king-6 suited.
This is a big table. Yeah, I said Joe could probably get Bobby Hoff out on the golf course. You could probably talk him into it.
Yeah,
I'll bring anyone else to it, because I know I tried.
Oh.
Cherry will call with queen-2 offsuit.
Yeah, he says once he starts playing, he'll practice for 5 hours a day every day.
He'd rather practice than play.
Chad and Robert, I'm not sure if they looked at their cards, but with this many people in the pot, they're priced in. Why not?
That's the same reason I haven't started playing yet.
Oh,
I know what it'll do to my personality.
5 players.
We're good now.
Yeah, he's got
Ooh.
Bob pairs his 6 on the flop, giving him 2 pair. He's going to bet out 800. That is a pretty significant bet by Bob here. Betting 800 into a $1,000 pot, he's really looking to chase away any weak to mediocre hands. Then he chased away everybody. Bob's going to take down the pot. Great bet by Bob. If someone had called him, he would have known exactly where he stood.
Well, I don't enjoy playing badly. That's the trouble.
I kept telling him I was his friend. They didn't give me much attention.
I don't know where they were from. They looked like they were from India.
Bob folds the 10 deuce. If that was one hand over, you know Doyle would have called with it.
Mexico.
Who are you talking about?
Bruce will call with 8-9 offsuit. And Chad, picking up pocket kings, bumps it up to 800.
Whatever it is.
Didn't matter to me. They were interested. That made me interested.
Barry limps in with 4-5 suited.
Any girl's interested in me, I'm interested in them.
One more?
And Bruce makes the call.
Okay. It's donkey stuff.
Buy online, not too bad.
On that flop could be trouble for Barry. He flopped top pair and the open-ended straight draw. Chad holding those pocket kings bets out 2,000. Barry's going to make the call. Bruce has to get out of the way.
2 players.
Two pair for both players now. And Chad bets 4,000 into a $6,000 pot. He wants action. He wants Barry to call. And Barry kindly obliges. Barry thinks he's in good shape here. He still has top pair, and he's got the open-ended straight draw. If he doesn't have the best hand now, he feels that he could draw to it. No help to Barry on the river. But he's going to lead out with his 2 pairs, 4s and 3s. 10,000 is the bet by Barry. Chad might be afraid of a flush here. That diamond on the river could be exactly what Barry was looking for. With 24,000 in the pot, Chad certainly has a good enough hand to look him up, but he can't be feeling confident.
Problem of it is, you got to carry everything aside.
Chad is replaying this hand in his head. Barry has checked and called the entire way down. When that 10 of diamonds hit on the river, Barry immediately bet out 10,000.
You know those hangers all over the clothes? No jewelry store.
Even though Chad is priced to call here, $10,000 isn't chump change.
say I can't carry no more, and I give.
Well, Barry, I think if you had the ace-high flush, you would have raised me on the flop.
Chad thinking out loud, hoping to pick up something on
Could have
Barry.
had pocket tens. Or you just have ace-king.
After
Oh,
careful
okay.
deliberation, Chad makes the call,
Good call, Chad.
Thank you.
and he'll win the pot. Barry played that hand the best that he could. Two of the best players in the world just tangled, and Chad Brown took down a $34,000 pot.
Good call, Chad.
Gotta go.
We'll be right back from Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel. Welcome back to Cash Poker. We've got 25 top poker players gambling with almost $2 million. Check it out.
Thanks a lot, Brandy. We are making television history here tonight. We've got 3 high-stakes cash games going on at the same time. You won't see that anywhere else. Action folds around to Stewart, who picked up pocket kings.
Raise.
He raises it up to 600. Oh, ace queen for Gabriel. He lays it down. Stewart's a very tight player, and Gabriel knows that. Stewart's king still good after the flop. He bets out 2,000, Barry quickly mucking his cards,
Ready to go, San Diego?
as does Bruce.
Nice hand. Those are supposed to be an ace magnet.
I was waiting for it.
Let's check in with Serinda for a player interview.
All right, we're here with local poker player Bob Bright. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Now, this is a big tournament for a lot of people. Is this, an everyday thing for you, or is this?
Well, the stock market's an everyday thing for me, so I gamble every day. This is a little different for me, being a cash game, not a tournament.
Now, do you prefer cash games over tournaments?
No, I think I prefer tournaments. But I'm trying to learn the cash games, and how do you learn them? You play with the best.
Yeah, seriously, this is a good place to learn. I mean, there's some heavy hitters here today.
Just about everybody that's there. I've played a few of them before. I'm sitting right between Dar Brunson and Barry Greenstein. Wow. So I'm honored to be there.
Thank you very much, Serinda. Now let's get back to the action.
When you say give, that's the end of it. I win. True story.
Queen 10 suited for Robert.
I don't carry no bag in this.
I ain't
He will
carrying
make the
back.
call.
They're carrying it back. They can't carry him no more.
Gabriel now with pocket kings.
Raise.
He will raise 650 to go. Queen Jack for Bob, reaching for chips. And he will make the call. Doyle folds, as does Bruce. Action is to Terry. He will fold. Keep an eye on Robert here. He limped in the first time around, and he's going to call.
Three players.
Oh, this is a very dangerous hand for Robert and Gabriel, as Bob has flopped 2 pair. All players check. Blank on the turn. Robert's going to bet out his top pair. Little does he know he's a distant third right now.
Never happened.
And just a smooth call from Gabriel. I wonder what he's thinking here. He might be slow playing, or he might sense some strength from Robert. Bob, who has the best hand, just calls.
His broker used to fire. Can't borrow any money from anybody.
5 of diamonds on the river. Bob will win this hand, provided he doesn't fold.
Him and Big Bobby.
Robert is reaching for chips. That river card could not have scared him. Still thinking he has the best hand, he bets out 4,100, less than half the pot. He wants some callers here. Gabriel will make the call. Bob with the best hand.
Nice.
I'd raise.
And he's going to come over the top, and that has to set off some alarms at the table. Bob, who has been checking and smooth calling the entire way, now comes over the top with a raise. Robert probably not even thinking about Bob as a threat here. He does now. Generally, when a player leans back and takes a sip of a drink like that, they're showing that they're comfortable and confident in their hand. Robert and Gabriel are two of the top players in the world. We'll see if they pick up on that tell. Not only does Robert need to be worried about Bob's raise, Gabriel still has to act after him. I think Robert knows he has to fold here, but he's not happy about it. Gabriel thinking the same thing. And Bob having a snack. In tournament poker, because the blinds and antes are raised periodically, you'll often see time called on a player who's thinking this long. But that's considered very bad etiquette in cash poker. This table that was once full of banter and laughter is now very quiet as Robert makes his final decision.
We get a clock. Inappropriate in this game? Is it inappropriate to ask for a clock?
On table one, please. Michael, I need a clock on table one.
You can ask her next time. You can just tell me. Try to hurry, and I'll take less than a minute.
What, should I just go by my... How about my clock? Will you honor that?
Whatever's fine. I just need a little bit of time.
A little bit of a breach in etiquette as Bruce, who's not even in this hand, asks for a clock.
Can't figure this one out.
And in the end, Robert makes the right decision and lays him
I don't know
down.
how you can fold queens and jacks there if that's what you have. I mean, he obviously, I guess he made the nuts in 4. I mean, you can't have jacks and 5 of clubs, jack 8 of clubs, the queen 5.
Gabriel, who's had plenty of time to think.
For the record, I did not ask for a clock. I said it would be inappropriate for me to ask for a clock.
Oh, no, I was fine.
This is an even tougher laydown for Gabriel, as he has an overpair to the board.
If I did it regularly,
But he makes the right read, lays him down, and Bob's going to pull in a $20,000 pot.
show a bluff would be good for the game. I'm not tipped off the rest of these.
Let's see what the traffic is.
Read the latest Bluff magazine. Chris Ferguson has a big article on him.
Oh, yeah?
He mentions us because he's been with us forever.
Stewart will be first to act, ace-king suited. And he elects to just smooth call.
Way back, like 98 or so. Yeah.
Barry bumps it up to 800 with 8-10 suited. Why? Because he's Barry Greenstein.
Just put all your money in mankind, forget about it.
Bob picked up an ace-9. And he will make the call. I'll be interested to see what Stewart does here. He won the buy-in for this event through an online satellite. He doesn't play a lot of hands, but when he does, he tends to play them very aggressively. And to Stewart's credit, he may be playing so tight because he is at a table with some of the best players ever.
I'm thinking that.
We'll see what he does here. He may have been hoping somebody came over the top so he could re-raise. And he does come over the top 3,500, more than 4 times Barry's raise. Barry trying to figure out what Stewart was doing. Whatever it was, Barry wants no part. He lays it down.
Wanted to see a draw, but no, that.
As does Bob. Stewart, once again, very aggressive. He never seems to get a lot of action.
Yeah.
I will look at it.
Gabriel will get things started. Pocket fives in first position. He will just call. Barry with a pocket pair of his own. He has deuces. He'll call as well. Queen 8 offsuit for Bob. He'll throw in some chips.
800.
Bruce with a king-queen offsuit. Trying to chase away some of these players. Raises it up to 800. An immediate call from Terry with king-jack. And the action is to Stewart, who picked up pocket aces.
Guy, come on, me. Robert played this hand, but I'm not. Go ahead and take it. Take it, take it, take it.
And once again, chases everybody out of the hand.
Beat those.
He turns his cards face up as if to say, see, every time I raise pre-flop, I have the goods, so don't call. He doesn't seem to want action from the more experienced table.
Both times on me and you.
Now that Stewart has developed this reputation as such a tight player, I would love to see him change gears, start playing more aggressively with marginal hands.
Did I mess it up?
Ace-9 offsuit for Bob.
Let's try this again. Sorry. Who said raise?
As he will raise it to 600.
Wow.
Pocket sevens for Bruce. He elects to just call. Robert Queen Jack suited in spades. He'll call as well.
I don't want to pot in so long. I forget what it's like.
We'll have 3 players heading into this flop. Oh, and look at that. Bob hits top pair. Bruce a set of sevens. Bob's in a bad spot here. He bets out 1,500.
I call.
And a nice slow play by Bruce here. Elects to just call, doesn't come over the top. No help on the turn. Bob, in addition to being behind, is also out of position. It appears as though Bob is going to bet again. Bruce has to be a little bit nervous with that 8 on the turn. It does put a possible straight on the board. 2,700 is the bet from Bob. Bruce may consider coming over the top here, trying to chase away a possible straight draw, but no, instead just calls. Oh, and that 8 on the river is a great card for Bruce. Now he hopes Bob hit a straight because Bruce just got a full house. Bob slows things down, a little bit wary of the way Bruce has been calling. A little smirk on the face of Bruce there. Let's see if Bob picked that up.
$8,500.
Now Bruce bets out 8,500. Bob still has top pair with the top kicker.
I don't really know.
I call.
Full house.
And he makes the call.
Pretty good hand.
Bruce can't wait to turn over his full house.
See, talk loose, play tight. You notice this? He was talking to Robert a minute ago.
And Bruce is going to pull down a $27,000 pot. Just another in a series of big pots we've seen tonight. The cash is flying around the table, which isn't a surprise when we're dealing with players of this caliber.
Welcome back to Cash Poker, the game that's all about the cash. Let's get to the action.
Come on, in front of the camera, Hal.
Your camera's over there.
Bruce will get things started. 10 jack. Under the gun bumps it up to 600.
That's too much.
Chad makes the call with 6-3 suited.
Wow. Notice.
Barry calls with pocket deuces, as does Bob with king deuce suited. We are going to see a flop.
Where's the button?
Bruce hits middle pair with his 10s, Chad bottom pair with his 3s.
I check.
Chad bets out 1,500 with bottom pair.
Oh, I can't see the cards. I can't see the cards on the inside of your chips.
You got so many chips.
Well, I got to arrange them a certain way.
Just a call from Bruce.
Get rid of some of the green.
No help on the turn. Bruce still has the best hand here.
Check.
He checks. Has to be a little bit afraid of that ace.
I check.
Both players check once again, neither one wanting to fall into the other's trap. And Chad's going to see the 10s and muck his cards.
All right, we're here with Chad Brown, who also is a player, but I hear you have a book coming out too, right?
In January, I'll have a book coming out on Hold'em.
I'm going to have to get that because I'm apparently not very good at Hold'em now. You also just won a large event. Tell us about that.
Well, it wasn't an event.
Sorry, the title.
I won Bluff Magazine Player of the Year. So that's, I'm very proud of that. It's a big accolade, and because of that, my book hopefully will show people just how to do that so that they could win Player of the Year.
Now, you're wearing this t-shirt. What is this about?
Well, this is my name and my site, downtownchadbrown.net.
So we can check you out on there?
You could check me out on there.
Perfect. Well, make sure you guys go do that, and we'll check them out at the tables later on. Thanks so much. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
Robert will be first to act. He's been pretty quiet ever since losing that big pot to Bob earlier in the evening.
Why like you mean?
Action folds around to Bob, ace-jack suited, and he'll make the call.
You got a seat open now.
Turn those cards over, Don.
Exposed cards, queen, deuce, exposed cards.
Bruce on the button.
Now
King
you're
10 suited, he'll call.
Did you call?
I did call.
I called.
I probably wouldn't have had I seen that exposed card.
Where's the $1,000?
Raise 1,000
You got more information than that.
Terry calls. Chad pocket fives in the big blind will make it 1,300 to go. See if that chases any of these players away. Bob will stick around.
I did. He raised. Oh wait. Yeah, he raised to 1,000. He called. I'm gonna fold, and this is another great laydown.
This
Bruce and Terry get out of the way, and we are heads up
Exposed card just
at
saved
the
me
flop.
$100, but I should get my 150 back.
Now, when Bob picks up an ace on the flop,
I love it when I make it good.
has the best hand, but Chad's betting out 1,500 this time. Bob just calling, might be slow playing, or he could be afraid of those hearts. King of diamonds on the turn. Chad electing to check this time.
I told the boys to go buy some
Okay.
here.
Bob surprisingly checks. If he was putting Chad on a flush draw, a big bet might have chased him away. And look at that. 5 on the river gives Chad 3 of a kind.
Hey, that's good.
Chad bets out 4,000. Bob in a tough position now. I don't think he put Chad on a pocket pair. I really think he was afraid of that flush draw. He might think his aces are good here.
I call.
And he's going to look them up.
Oh.
3 5s?
Yes, sir.
Good end.
Good hand indeed, as Bob, disappointed, tosses his cards in the muck.
I think I saved a lot of money. But he probably wouldn't have seen that.
Had Bob bet that 4,000 on the turn instead of calling it on the river, he might have won this hand.
What a money.
Action folds around to Doyle. He hasn't played a lot of hands tonight. Maybe he's getting bored. He just called with a 2-4 suited. Terry will make the call. Ace-9 offsuit. Robert limps in from the small blind with Queen-8, and Stewart will check 10-deuce. Terry hits top pair with his aces. Doyle with a straight draw. Doyle bets out 700. An immediate call from Terry. We are heads up going into the turn, and another ace for Terry. Doyle needs a 5 and a 5 only. This time checks. Terry bets out 1,000, and I think that's all Doyle needed to see. He's going to get out of the way.
I had the old extra.
Oh, I wish we could rabbit hunt. That's the other thing, rabbit hunting.
Terry shows his card. I don't think he needed to. Doyle knew exactly what Terry had.
If I could recognize, you know, the strength of being starting, you know, really young. I mean, it's like things are automatic for some people versus a struggle for others.
Bob picks up pocket 10s. Elects just to call, not in a great position here. Doyle 4-5 offsuit, that's what to call.
Drink, I'm gonna start playing everything, but I'm not yet.
Action folds to Robert. King Jack suited. He's going to bump it up to 650.
How much?
Bob with his pocket 10s. Should get at least a call out of Bob. He does make the call, as does Doyle with his 4-5, hoping to hit a flop.
In this game, I would doubt if you would have, but maybe. You know.
No, it's Robert who hits this flop. Top 2 pair, kings and jacks. Action will check to him. He wants to get a call here. And he makes a pot-sized bet, 2,200. Bob with 2 overcards on the board.
17.
You're buying.
Can't be feeling great about his pocket pair here.
Make it 7. You want to make it 17?
You're buying the boys drinks tonight.
He's going to toss him in. Not much of a thought for Doyle as he throws his cards in as well. And with that hand, Robert breaks out of his slump. Believe it or not, that last hand was Robert's first win of the night. It is rare to see a player of Robert's caliber go that long without dragging a pot.
Bada bing.
I forgot what the hell he was doing. I forgot what he was doing.
Bada bing.
Oh, he was calling airline tickets, trying to get a flight out.
Action folds around to Barry on the button. He will bump it up to 500 with 8-9 offsuit. And look at that, Bob, another pocket pair, aces this time, elects just a smooth call. And Doyle calls with 6-3 suited in the big blind. We have 3 players heading into this flop. And Doyle gets a piece of the flop, bottom pair with his 6s. Bob checking the best hand. And Barry says if nobody wants it, I'll take a shot at it. That's 1,000.
Call.
Another smooth call from Bob. Trying to maximize the value of his aces. And a call from Doyle as well with bottom pair.
Hey, babe, we're just talking about you.
Hit this off switch.
That 7 gives Barry an open-ended straight draw. All players check, however. And the 2 on the turn will seal this hand for Bob. Let's see how he plays it. He's been very smooth so far. He'll bet out 1,500. Again, a very small bet, begging to be called. Doyle knows better. He tosses him in. Barry missed his draw. He mucks him as well. And by slow playing, Bob let Doyle and Barry see 2 free cards, and he didn't even get value for it.
Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel. The game is poker. The stakes are big, so let's get you back to the action.
Robert first to act. And look at that, pocket aces. That is the 3rd time we've seen pocket aces at this table tonight. This time Robert the recipient, and he'll just call. Gabriel with ace-king offsuit. He will raise it up to 700. You usually love looking down at ace-king. If only Gabriel knew he had less than a 10% chance of winning this hand. Action folds around to Robert. And he elects just to call. This might have been a good spot for a re-raise. And with ace-king, Gabriel easily would have called that raise. Not that Robert knows that. Oh, and even more trouble as Gabriel pairs his king on the flop. He will bet out. And Robert's going to come over the top at this point. 2,800 to go. That should send a message to Gabriel. But with top pair, top kicker, he has to think his hand is best. With no pre-flop raise, it'd be tough for Gabriel to put Robert on aces.
He made it 2,800?
And he makes the call.
Did you mean to do that?
3 of diamonds on the turn. And a nice check by Gabriel there. He senses something, and he doesn't want to fall into a trap. And here comes the bet from Robert, 6,000.
I guess you did mean to do that, huh, Robert? You win it.
Oh, and a world-class laydown by Gabriel right there. Even turns him up to show the table. That's how good I am.
Raise you on the turn, but
you win it.
I really did.
Robert elects not to show his cards. At least lets him think about it for a little bit.
Can you let us know, what did you do to prepare for this? I mean, this is a big event. I know nerves are kind of going. What did you do?
I tried to sleep more than 3 hours and not drink too much last night, but unfortunately my friend Joe Hashem won the championship event, so needless to say I didn't qualify for either one. Just hoping for the best now. Got to get lucky with the cards.
Now, who are you hoping to sit down at the table with you today?
Well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I just hope I get the biggest names.
Yeah?
Why not? I like to play against the best players in the world. That's why I'm here.
4-3, son, kid.
Stewart will get things started.
Yeah, he beat though, huh?
Ace queen under the gun.
They showed 2 of them. By God, what else he got to show his foot?
And he's going to raise it up 700, dialing back his raises just a little bit. Bob makes the call with queen 10 suited.
I got that just what I want to play for. 7 potatoes.
As does Terry with 10 jack. Very interesting. Even with the more passive play by Stewart, all the pros know to get out of his way. The amateur players jump in. And how about that queen on the flop? Both Bob and Stewart pair their queens. Stewart loving his ace kicker. Stewart bets out 2,000. Bob also with top pair here. Will make the call. Terry flopped an open-ended straight draw.
This is the hand I'm going to get you on, buddy.
Maybe.
I'm going to get you this time.
He's going to stick around as well. Well, Terry didn't get him on the turn. Stewart looking for the right combination of chips. And seemed a little nervous reaching for chips there. I'm sure the pros picked up on that tell. Almost always an indicator of strength. And Bob picked up as well as he folds top pair. Nice laydown by Bob.
Damn, that's a hell of a bet.
That price is too high for Terry to stick around on nothing but a draw.
Well, if I make a hand, I'm going to bust your ass, but I tell you, I got a long jump. And it's a hell of a bet. What do you do with a straight and a flush draw? I guess you just throw it away and act like it never happened.
No call from Terry. Stewart's going to win the pot.
9,000.
And give Stewart a lot of credit there. Changed up his strategy a little bit, and he drags a $17,000 pot.
The river could hurt me.
Stewart Hosen, our internet qualifier, is on a roll. And with nice plays like that, Stewart is slowly earning the respect of the table.
Feels like I'm the punching bag today.
10-9 offsuit for Bob.
Oh, you got a good attitude. You do well.
He will make the call, as will Doyle, with 3-5 suited.
Like I said, it ain't over till it's over.
Ace-10 for Bruce. He'll limp in. Chad 6-7 makes the call. 6-5 for Robert. He gets involved. Stewart, ace-king, another good hand in the small blind.
I got a pretty good hand. Try it, to be honest with you.
And another big raise by Stewart. I like the big raise in this case, however. There's a lot of players in this pot. Even if everybody folds, he's still going to pull down a pretty good chunk of cash.
You're a little more
Bob
famous.
gets out of the way. Doyle wants no part of it. Bruce folds. Chad folds.
Well, he's going to be famous. He goes through this whole way and never want to lose a hand.
And so does Robert. All the
my weakest
momentum
hand.
going Stewart's way as he drags another pot and shows him, just as a reminder, I always have a good hand. Thank you so much for joining us here at the legendary Binion's Gambling Hall and Hotel for another edition of Cash Poker. For everybody at Cash Poker, I'm Brian Malika. Good night, everybody.
Almost $2 million in cash and 25 top poker players. What a night of hot poker action. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. I'm Brandy Williams. Good night.